Lone Star Clash 3. We'll have eight players left in the tournament. I think it's single elimination all the way to the winner. So, you know, Sunday day of rest, you shouldn't be working. Come on over to the convention center and watch some StarCraft 2 and hang out and be a part of this awesome Austin crowd.
With the 8 final players, I will be working the elasticity of my pants tomorrow. I promise you that.
Ah, yes.
I had to do one joke. One joke that's based upon reproductive organs. It's in my contract. I'm supposed to do that.
No, it's fine. You know, that's...
Let us introduce these players in the lower right. Thank you.
You know,
as long as I make you laugh, that's good. In the lower right-hand side, from Team Root, some say he is Team Root, basically, it is CatZ. CatZ.
You know, it's interesting you say that. Some say he is Team Root. Like, when you really think about, like...
He does the art, he cold calls the sponsors.
And not only that, every player who joins Root, like, they're automatically included in a you know, deep discussion about strategy. And a lot of theory crafting goes on. You know, CatZ is obviously working to help everyone on his team, no matter what the race.
CatZ is he is a special guy in this community. I mean, talk about somebody going as deep as you can get into the game. That's CatZ. He moved himself and other people to California to start up a pro gaming house, and that was his second pro gaming house, or third. I've lost track, but point is, he's worked really hard at it. But let us also pay respect to the guy who in game number 2, excuse me, eked out an exciting win where me and the rest of us probably thought he was going to lose. It is Light Binski. Earning some fans. I understand that he plays for, I think it's North Texas University. Do you know? Or
it would be UNT, University of North Texas. And that sounds about right to me. I should be more familiar with that because I'm a Texas guy.
He plays for a Texas school. I know that, and he's kicked a hell of a lot of butt in CSL.
Yeah, that does sound very right to me. Maybe someone in the audience can yell really loudly if they know.
That would be super loud.
Okay.
He did yell really loud, but not loud enough as we are 10 miles away, so I can't hear.
We'll figure it out later. I just think it's so fun to think about the last game. And I think a lot of you guys can learn from that, especially Terran players. You know, when you're behind against a Zerg and they're getting in your base and they're getting confident, not that CatZ was overly confident or anything, but there will be those players on ladder who will get in your main base, get in your face, they'll act all confident, maybe start dancing their units. You're not necessarily out of it. If you have a couple medevacs out, you can vary those units. You can dip and dodge. You can make them very cost efficient, get a Widow Mine or 2 out, and you can turn a very dire situation into a relatively promising one. So,
well, you know, Axelos, you brought up a really good point that I feel like favors this point you're making now, too, is you talked about how these players are facing elimination. I mean, going into that game number 2, Binski got rolled over game number 1. He's got more to show than that. And it's in those tight situations where a lot of times you'll make more mistakes because nerves get to you and you know, your control falters. Not Binski, though, there. He made pretty much all the right choices, including dropping and counterattacking into the natural and main, bouncing between those bases, by the way, so that he's cutting down all the economy as opposed to just really eliminating the natural, but leaving CatZ at a fully mining main base. Really great choices there.
I feel like we could just dissect all these games, you know, forever and learn so much. But here we are in game 3, and it's actually a lot of interesting things are happening. I mean, we have 4 links coming across the map. The map is King Sejong Station. Lings being annoying here at the natural. And Speed is about to finish here. And we have a lot of Lings in production by CatZ. This is a significant investment in the early part of this game. He's at 16 Harvesters, his opponent's 19. So he's definitely wanted to make this work, but Binski has a bunker underway, so he has an idea that something like this is happening.
Binski with the snap call choice to make that bunker. He made it well ahead of the time that the actual Zerglings themselves showed their faces. And in doing so, I feel like he's countering what CatZ is attempting here very strongly. You can see that one of the main targets would be that CC, but CatZ is always killing the SCB while being shot by 2 Reapers, and that's a lot of DPS for those Zerglings.
This is a perfect response from Binski, and we see CatZ kind of admitting defeat a little bit at this stage in the game. Not in the war, but just this particular battle, by making a lot of drones, which is showing that he's kind of gonna ease off on that aggression. And these Lings overall, units lost 350 to 153, 14 to 3 in favor of Binski. So Binski making a great read. Yeah, making a great read and defending probably as well as he could.
I'll tell you what, that was ugly. That was really ugly. And to be critical here, CatZ saw the bunker when his initial 4 Zerglings came in. I honestly feel like his better choice would have been to be like, okay, well played, sir. I sacked some econ to do this opening, but given your response to it, I cannot do anything about it. Instead, CatZ said, nope, this is my opening. I need to follow through with it. And in doing so, put himself very far behind. If you look at the supply tab, that doesn't tell it. They're basically neck and neck in supply. It's the fact that CatZ is not mining gas. He has no tech. His natural is just now getting to the saturation that most Zergs have immediately. And in fact, there it is. CatZ has to do something weird. He's gonna start mining a lot of gas.
And he's pretty good at doing weird stuff, so definitely don't consider CatZ out of it just yet. Trying to get us around on a couple of Hellions. I think he took out a few, which is definitely a very nice thing at this point in the game. You need every small victory you can get when you're in CatZ's position right now. Meanwhile, binski responding by placing a 3rd command center on the ground right at its location. I like that move. I like that decision. You know, playing the safe way, establishing into the later game, just trying to extend that lead.
binski's showing to be the guy that, much like Pult before him, who is just I like to do my thing and I'll stick to it. We're not seeing a whole lot of deviation. That 3rd CC coming out very early on. This has been binski throughout this TVZ. We see it on the low ground at the 3rd because he says, hey, I'm not worried about anything right now. My Hellions are pinning back this 2-base Zerg. The amount of Zerglings he made to try to crack my natural, only to fail there, is enough so that CatZ's in trouble. Now, I do like this. CatZ is opening up the back door, still on this map, and you can see it in binski's motion. Players kind of forget about it. They're like, nah, this is a 1 entrance type of place. It's really not, though.
We'll have to see if he sends a Ling in that direction. You definitely want to be aware of that location. Because at this point, binski's like, okay, does my Zerg opponent have a 3rd base? What should I be preparing for? And that's the purpose of these Hellions Reapers. And there we see the scan. He's trying to find what his opponent is doing. He sees the layer.
Does he see the Zerglings? He does.
Sees the Zerglings. So
that's telling. Because there's been no Zerglings even trying to poke at his units.
Oh, and he just saw the Spire too, the natural.
Sees the Spire. That's good. But the scan is really nice. That saves him a lot of headache, I feel. Maybe he was always going to get that information because the Reapers immediately go into the natural. They do die, but it's weird to see Zerglings coming out when it's a 2-base Zerg that contained. Like, something should have been going on. You should have already seen those Zerglings because the Zerg's like desperate to get out. But as it is, actually, binski's going to whiff on this intel, and this counterattack could do a lot of damage.
We have a decent wall in place here for binski. The command center should be able to lift off. 2 mules dropped at the complete wrong time.
It could have been worse. Oh, wow, he stims out.
Oh.
It is going to be worse. He's going to lose some Marines here. No, never mind. Those are Space Marines. I apologize for underestimating
You have to remember, StarCraft 2 Marine.
And in the middle of the map, Hellions are going to clean up the supply tram Zerglings. They're going to make their way into the natural. And they will see that there is a missile turret there, so maybe that's not your first place to go. And they're going to disrupt the mining a little bit too, so not all is lost.
Zerglings trying to get as much damage done as they can. You know, that little sequence isn't going to have like a remarkable impact on this game. It's not like that, you know, put this in one direction or another. However, these mutas and what kind of damage they do might tell a good story. But remember, binski scouted that, so he's placing out turrets. And I want to say one more thing. CatZ behind all this is trying to double expand. So, you know, how well he can get those up into fruition and how well he can protect those extra expansions from counterattacks is gonna weigh heavily on how this game goes forward.
I like that binski is being undeterred, basically. He's killed so many Zerglings in this early stage of the game that while CatZ is, you know, he's doing a lot with just 2 hatcheries. It is just 2 hatcheries, so unless CatZ finds himself a vulnerable spot, kills 10 SCVs or something like that, he really has not slowed down binski at any turn of this game. And the Mutos want the Terran to be back at home defensive and worried about them at this stage, but instead binski has brazenly walked across the map, and this is danger zone for CatZ.
Yeah, he's going for this 3rd or 4th base, whatever you want to call it. Sabita is trying to defend. CatZ also trying to make some banelings here to help out against these Marines. You're definitely going to want those. binski trying to target on the hatchery, trying to decide, do I stay or do I go? And it looks like he's going to stay, going to make a stand, a nice baneling connection, and all of the Terran units are going to get cleaned up.
Wow.
Overall, a good defense there from CatZ.
Yeah, binski focused down 3 of the 4 banelings, and I was about to be like, holy cow, great control, but he lets the 1 baneling walk in, and it hit just about every single Marine. So as you said, it ends up being a great defense from CatZ. I just feel bad because it could have been a great attack from Binski. I feel like it was in his hands to do that.
Overall, right now at this stage in the game, kind of to kind of do a check on where we are in the game state. How are you feeling about these two players? I mean,
yeah.
I feel like Binski has had a lot of momentum as this game has continued forward, but CatZ has had some nice defense, and he's had some good map control, and he's got those 4 bases up. So where do you kind of see these players going from here?
You know, with Binski pushing out the way he did, if you would have asked me then, I'd say Binski is in the driver's seat. It's his game to lose. As it is, it's even, but I even have this little strange voice in the back of my head saying, no, I think CatZ is winning, and it's not in supply, it's not in tech, it's just that he has this double, well, I'm gonna hold my, okay, that makes a lot more sense. I hadn't seen that it's a double drop coming up right now. Binski's army looks so small. How does CatZ deal with this? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Looks like he's pulling back, doesn't have any static defense in place to potentially help with those medevacs. He's getting a lot of drone kills there at the third base. In the main base, CatZ just completely pulling away all those drones, targeting down the spawning pool. That would be a great pickoff. And oh my God. 61. And there's a transfuse. Are the Marines going to get it? Is it so close? No, it's not going to get it. 30, 27, 21, 18, 10, 4. How is it dying?
The Queen killed it.
How did it die?
The Queen.
The Queen.
She was like, CatZ runs a no-nonsense kind of Zerg base. He's like, you know what? Spawning pool, if you're going to just take damage like a bee, I'm gonna kill you. It's over. So he's gonna have to do it without a spawning pool for right now, but otherwise that triple drop dealt devastating damage. Binski does leap up in supply, gets himself in positioning. That being said though, CatZ still okay. He's done a good job producing. I love the Brood Banelings. You know how I feel about this universe. Don't do it now. Don't reveal it now.
No.
Wait for the big one.
Oh no.
Give it to me.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I want to scream.
There's a scan, but no.
Oh boy.
See you later,
that was pretty
Marines.
cool.
Scan a little bit
CatZ redeemed himself, by the way. He whiffed on that in against Bull. There it is. That was big.
He got his, what's the word? Retribution. He got his.
It
okay,
works.
I'm gonna go with that. So when people remember this tournament, they're not gonna necessarily remember that first fail, but that awesome Bailey detonation. Meanwhile,
Binski's dropping everywhere though.
Yeah,
Binski
a lot of
dropping,
drones dying here, and of course the top right-hand location. Binski is just everywhere, and he's denying these extra bases.
Yeah.
Like.
CatZ chases back the army, but to what end? Who cares? Terrans can lose their army. They don't care. If they're losing their army while you're losing all of your expansions, that's fine with them. And Binski is, he's not going to get this hatchery, but he got most of the drones there. He did get the third.
Dare
and there
I
was
say,
something in the main as well.
Right. So did Binski get the last laugh in that sequence of
He's
2 minutes?
He's laughing at all of us. Our attention was drawn.
So yeah, there you go. Both these players all across the map. Binski loves his drops, shutting down that mining at those extra bases. Again, restricting CatZ to those 2 bases. And again, the gas is so important.
What a turnaround.
Yeah.
CatZ bombs most of the army. And then like 2 seconds later, we realize that CatZ is basically dead. 58 supply advantage.
Yep.
He does not have that many mules. He's making Banelings right now. He has great connections there. You know what? I'm not going to be fooled anymore. I looked around the mini-map and I was like, all right, here's Binski's army, but where's the drop? He's actually not dropping right now.
It's all here.
Yeah.
And, you know, CatZ is doing a solid job clearing this up, getting some solid Bailey detonations, but Binski's just sheer power at this point. Number of units is really showing as the units come in and clean up, but if we look at the supply and we look at what's back home, you know, Binski's making a lot of units to reinforce, and he's going to keep sending them across the map. Sending a drop to the bottom left at the same time, of course. Leaving a Widow Mine there. I love that touch, a Binski touch, I'll call it, while still assaulting this base at the top right. Does not want CatZ breathing at all in this game.
No. He'll get the hatch. He will not be denied. He focuses it down. And that drop by itself didn't do much, except that it won him this position right now. That's what we're looking at. And Binski's been doing that all game long. We'll watch the army. It'll die or not be that effective. The drops are strong. We'll watch the drops. It'll die or not be that effective. The army is winning positioning. Binski is an emotional roller coaster to watch.
Oh yeah, and guess what's just about to finish?
What do we got? Oh, 3-3?
Yeah.
That's going to be...
And like, that alone, like it's all, I mean, all this could be considered just buying time to get that 3-3 out, because once that's out against 2-1 Zerglings, I mean, it's going to be absolutely lights out.
Yeah, and here comes CatZ. You got a lot of Banelings, but Widow Mines are there as well. Binski has impressed me at least. He's played a beautiful TVZ. This was dominating. I really felt like every time it was like, oh wait, he's making a mistake. No, it was him dropping somewhere else. His army was just small enough. That was nice. But CatZ, he's fighting on one foot. He's on the back foot, and it's only one of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. CatZ has a lot of heart. Again, guys, this is the elimination game. Loser is out of Lone Star Clash 3. No one wants to leave Austin now, but CatZ is going to have to. binski playing a heroic game number 3, taking the 2-1. He's definitely going to be fist pumping after that. What great play.